Okay everyone, my name is Paul. Today we're going to be doing a 20 to 30 minute seated banded exercise class. So we're going to get going with a seated warm-up. So what I'd like you to do is just get nice and comfortable on your seat, and we're just going to be nice and slow, nice and steady, marching our feet on the spot like so. You can also bring your arms into play, have a little bit of a swing in your arm. So starting off nice and slow, nice and steady. And just for the first few minutes, just going to be getting our bodies nice and warm. And as the seconds pass by, we're going to go a little bit quicker, and we might go a little bit higher with our feet, and we might swing our arms a little bit more vigorously. Okay, so next up we're going to do what we call some heel digs. So for this, you can do it one leg at a time or both at the same time. You're going to go heel to the floor, back in, heel to the floor, back in. Okay, next up we're going to do some heel taps. So this time we're going to be going out to the side rather than forward. So just out to the side and back in, out to the side and back in. So all of these exercises, all the warm-up exercises, are going to be getting our lower body ready for the exercise session. And this one in particular is going to be helping to warm up those hips. Okay, hopefully the lower body should feel a little bit more looser, a little bit warmer. What we're going to do now is we're working on our core, so we're going to do some nice and slow trunk rotations. So just from right to left, right to left. We should be really switching on these core muscles now, so along the front and also around the back. Okay, and then we're going to be moving on to more of the upper body warm-up exercises. So for the next one, what I'd like you to do, just maybe come towards the end of your chair, and then we're just going to be making nice big circles backwards with our shoulders. So the arms are staying nice and straight, hanging down, and we're going nice big circles backwards with the shoulders. And then once you've got used to that, we're going to switch the direction and we're going to go forwards. Get those shoulders nice and loose, nice and ready for the banded exercise. And then next up we're just going to go arms out to the sides, so kind of like in a T shape. And we're just going to do small circles forwards. And over time we can gradually get the circles a little bit bigger. And then coming a little bit smaller again. Okay, shake it off if you need a little rest, if your shoulders are starting to feel them, that's good. And then when you're ready, we're going to go back out. Same thing, but this time we're going to be going backwards. So little backward circles. And again, the circles are going to be getting gradually a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And then we're going to bring it back in to nice small circles. Okay, hopefully your shoulders should be feeling nice and warm now. No, mine definitely are. And now we're just going to do a few rotations of the neck. So you go one way. This is one of my favourites, this one. And then change direction. If you're somebody that maybe sits at a desk for a long time, or who sits looking at a phone, or even sitting reading a book, this one will be a really nice one just to loosen up your neck. And we're going to do similar rotations for your wrists. So rotate them one way, and then the other. And then once your wrists feel nice and warm, we're going to go to some ankle rotations. So you can do one leg at a time. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, do both. I'm not going to even try doing that. And then opposite. Okay, lovely. So hopefully we should be feeling nice and warm, nice and ready now to get stuck into our banded exercise portion of the workout. So what we're going to do is grab your band. Today we're going to be doing 7 exercises, and we're going to do each exercise once and then just repeat the process, okay? So the first exercise you're going to do is a calf press. So what we'd like to do for this is get nice and comfortable in your chair. You're going to wrap the band around the ball of your foot, so kind of towards the top. Arms are going to come straight, and then all it is a case of toes come towards your face, toes go towards the floor. To your face, to the floor, to your face, to the floor. So you should be feeling this in your calf muscles, so just behind the shin. What I'd like to try and concentrate on is right at the bottom, when you point your toes at the floor, really try and contract, so to really squeeze that calf muscle, okay? 2 more, and last one, okay, I can feel my calves definitely working there. Next exercise we're going to do, again maybe scoot towards the end of your chair. What we're going to do is wrap the resistance band, put your feet together, wrap the resistance band around your legs, so it's nice and tight around your legs. And all we're going to be doing here is with the knees, try and get them about a 90-degree angle. What we're going to be doing is working to push our knees away from each other. Okay, so there, and then try and control the movement back in. It can be really easy just to let go on the way back in. Try not to do that. Try and really control it, okay? So nice and slow, nice and steady reps. Really feel the contraction. This is really, really good for these little muscles around the hips. And the more control we have over the band, the more control we have over our muscles as well. Do a few more repetitions. And last one. Ooh. Okay, hopefully your muscles all around your hip areas will be feeling turned on now, because mine definitely are. Next we're going to be moving on to the upper body. So again, we're going to be in a similar sort of position now to the first exercise. So we're going to wrap the bands around our feet, and all we're going to do for this one is you can keep your ankles on the floor. All we're going to be doing is basically rowing the band towards, think of rowing them towards your ribs. So we're coming up, we're squeezing our shoulder blades at the top, and then again controlling the band back down. So up towards the ribs, squeeze those shoulder blades at the back, and then back down. You should be finishing roughly around your knees at the bottom, okay? Squeeze. Really important point. Whilst you're doing these, don't forget to breathe. It can be really easy just to hold your breath and pull the band and let it go down, but try to keep a nice constant breath. Okay, so I like to breathe in the way up and breathe out the way down. So what this exercise is going to be doing, just do a few more repetitions, is really working those muscles around your shoulder blades, so on the back of our body. And it's also going to be working a little bit of our bicep muscle as well. So the muscle on the front of our arm, just here. Okay. That's it for the rows. What we're going to do next is just flip the movement really. So what we're doing is putting the band, depending on how high your chair is, you could put it around your chair, or if your chair isn't quite high enough, then you just put it around the back of your body. So instead of, with the previous exercise, we was pulling the band towards our body, this time we're going to be pushing the band away from us, okay? So the band's going to be, like I said, either around the back of a chair or around your back. Arms are going to be, or hands are going to be around chest height. And what we're going to be doing is pushing straight forward, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should be feeling this one around the front of our body, so the chest area. You might also feel it a little bit in the front of your shoulders. And you should also maybe a little bit be feeling it on the back of your arms at the top. This is our tricep muscle, okay? So behind the bicep. Going to do a few more repetitions. Last 3. 1, and relax. Next up, we're going to be working on a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of what we call rotator cuffs. So what you're going to do for this one is have that band with your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Hands are going to be roughly shoulder width, maybe a little bit closer. And all we're going to do is work to pull the band away from each other with our hands, okay? So we're externally rotating the shoulders. Okay, try and keep the elbows as close to the side of your body as possible so the elbows stay still. It's the hands that are moving in an outwards direction. Okay? This will be a really, really nice one to keep our shoulders nice and healthy. A really easy joint is the shoulder joint to injure. A lot of people might suffer from shoulder pain. It's going to be a really nice exercise to help strengthen that shoulder joint. Okay. A few more repetitions. 2 and 1. I can definitely feel that in my shoulders. I don't know about you. Okay, so 2 more exercises. We're going to be focusing specifically on the biceps and the triceps for the last 2. So if your bicep, again, what we're going to do is step in straight on the band. Again, knees are going to be about 90 degrees. You're going to grab the ends of the resistance band, and this time our elbows are going to stay stationary. Elbows aren't going to really move from this position. Just your lower arm is going to curl upwards. Okay, so when you curl in the resistance band, really, really squeeze your bicep muscle. So hopefully you should be feeling it around about here on the front of your arm. Okay, so elbows stationary, the lower arm is just coming up, and we're squeezing that bicep muscle at the top. Okay. Again, don't forget the breathing with this one. I like to breathe out the way up and then breathe in the way down. So a few more repetitions. Sure, if you're feeling a slight burn in your biceps now, I know that I definitely am. And one more. Okay, lovely. And then the last of the 7 exercises that we're going to do today is going to be working the back of our arm, so the tricep muscle. What we're going to do for this, you might want to scoot forward just a tad towards the end of your seat. Again, the band's going to be below the feet. For this one, you might have to just not bend over, not round your back, but just maybe hinge at the hips. So try and keep your back straight, but just hinge forward slightly, so there's a slight angle. Think about your back being maybe 45-degree angle. And then we're going to be grabbing the resistance bands. Again, we're going to be, the first movement is to row it up to your, so your elbows are by your ribs. And then all we're going to be doing, maybe grab the resistance band towards the end, is just extending the arms outwards. So again, the elbows stay by the ribs the whole time. It's just the lower arm that is moving away from the body this time, okay? And you should be feeling a really, really nice squeeze along the back of the arm on the tricep muscle. Don't forget that breathing. And just a few more reps. And one more. And that is our 7 exercises. So all we need to do now is just repeat the circuit, okay? Give yourself maybe 10-15 seconds just to shake your arms off. I know my arms, I can definitely feel them after those last 2 exercises. Regain your breath. Maybe grab a drink if you need to grab a drink. And then when we're feeling ready, we're going to jump back into the first exercise, which was the calf press, okay? The good thing about this first exercise is that it's all lower body again. So our arms can have a bit of a rest now. Okay, so when you're ready, grab your band. You're going to be seated on the chair. Band around roughly the ball point of your foot. Arms are going to be extended straight, so hands are pretty much next to your knees. And this one is just where the toes go towards the face, and then toes go towards the floor. Okay? Towards the face, towards the floor, towards the face, towards the floor. So this is predominantly going to be working your calf muscles. So again, that's the muscle behind your shin bone. Really squeeze that calf muscle if you can when your toes are pointing towards the floor. And we'll do 3 more repetitions. And lovely. Next up, we're going to go back into the leg abduction. So again, you're going to scoot towards the end of your chair, feet together, knees together, wrapping the band around your legs. And what we're doing here, knees at a 90-degree angle, trying to work to move those knees away from each other and then controlling the contraction on the way in. So feel those really, really small muscles around the hip joint really turning on here. Really, really great exercise for this, for anybody that spends a lot of time seated. If you're someone that sits down a lot, then your glute muscles and all the muscles around your hips are quite often going to be turned off, they're not going to be working whilst we're seated. Okay, so this exercise is really going to help to turn those muscles on and get them firing. Let's do one more repetition. Lovely. Next up we have the row. So again, get comfortable on your seat, maybe sit more towards the back of the chair. Band goes around the foot. Heels can stay on the floor for this one. Starting position is where with our hands roughly by our knees, and all we're going to be doing on this one again is rowing the resistance band up so that your hands finish roughly by your rib cage. Okay, and the key thing is just to concentrate on squeezing those shoulder blades at the top. Okay, so arms fully extended at the bottom by the knees, up towards the ribs, squeeze those shoulder blades. There we go. Don't forget about that breath, keep breathing. Do not hold your breath, it's so easy to do. And one more repetition for fun. And then we're going to reverse it. So that's your upper body pulling movement, so it's going to be working a lot of the muscles in your back. And we're going to switch it round, so we're going to be doing a pushing movement, which is going to be working the muscles on the front of our body, okay? So around our chest and our shoulders. So again, band is going to go either around your back, or if your chair is tall enough, you can move it around the back of your chair. Get comfortable in your seat, and then your hands are going to be roughly around chest height. That's your starting position, so your elbows are bent, and it's just a case of pressing the band away from you and extending your arms, okay? So it goes out to in, out to in. Again, we're working muscles all around the chest area. You might also feel this in front of your shoulders, and maybe a little bit in your triceps as well. So the back of your arm at the top, you might be feeling a little bit there. Five more repetitions. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lovely. And then we're going to be going back onto the shoulder or the rotator cuff exercise. Shoulders should be feeling nice and warm by now, and mine definitely are. This might be a challenge, but stick with it. So remember, for this one, hands are going to be facing the ceiling to start off with. Hands are going to be roughly around shoulder width to start, and all it is a case of elbows stay pretty much in the same position, that 90-degree angle, and it's the hands that are moving away from each other as far as you can, okay? And then again, controlling that resistance band on the way in. Don't let it collapse in. Really try and control that contraction on the way in. So this one's a much smaller movement, you'll notice, compared to the previous two. Hopefully you'll feel the benefits in terms of shoulder strength and stability. Just a few more repetitions. And last one. Lovely, and then moving back onto the arms. So we're going to start with the biceps again. So again, you're just going to be stepping into the resistance band. Knees are going to be at about a 90-degree angle. Maybe scoot towards the end of your seat for this one. So again, arms are going to start in a fully extended position. Again, elbows are going to stay as close to the body as possible. They're not really going to move your elbows ideally. And it's just a case of curling that resistance band up and then really squeezing that bicep muscle at the top. Okay, so hopefully at the top you should really be feeling it around here. And of course, do not forget about that breathing. Don't forget to breathe. If your arms are aching at this point, don't worry, that's the point of it. Your arms will be getting stronger through doing this. Our arms have done a lot of work today, to be fair, with these resistance band exercises, so hopefully you'll be able to be feeling it as we come towards the end of the session. A few more repetitions. Two more. And one. Okay. Woo. Hopefully you'll be feeling a nice, I can feel a little bit of a burning sensation from biceps there now, okay? The last exercise we're going to do, again, is for the triceps on the back of the arms. Again, maybe scoot towards the front of the chair if you've not already. Band is going to stay underneath the feet. Again, we're not rounding the back here for this one, but we're trying to keep our back as straight as possible, just hinging at the hips. So ideally, your body's going to be at roughly 45 degree angle from the floor. If it's not, don't panic, just try and keep as straight back as possible. And again, with this one, the first movement is almost rowing the band up, so our hands are around our thigh area, and then it's just going to be a case of elbows staying pretty much stable and extending those arms. Okay, so control the resistance band back in, elbows staying pretty much in the same position the whole time, just extending that arm and squeezing that tricep muscle at the top. Really squeeze that tricep muscle. Okay, if your arms are aching at this point, they should be. This is a really nice isolation exercise for those upper arm muscles at the back. Let's do a few more repetitions and then we can cool down. Hallelujah, you say. 3, 2, one more. 1. And you can relax. I can definitely feel that in my arms right now. You'll be happy to know you can now put your resistance band to the side. We've finished with that for today. Again, if you need to grab yourself a drink, give yourself a few seconds just to shake your arms off.